Hello, America. This is your teachable moment. You have a government that wants to open, you have a president who wants to open the government, but you have a Nancy Pelosi who does not want to open the government. Voting Democrat really hurts. If you're a government employee, many of you all voted Democrat. Many of you all decided to vote Democrat because you think, oh, well, they're going to take care of the government employee. They're socialists. It's all about government, big government. But the problem is that the Democrats are more interested in power. You understand that you have a president that's wanting to defend your country, defend its borders. There are gangs coming up through the borders, and they are kidnapping not only children, but Latinos, men and women are being kidnapped, and yet the Democrat Party doesn't care. The Democrats will secure their property, their borders of their high functioning, guarded, gated townhomes, but they don't think America is worth securing. That's a shame. So they really are a derelict of duty. They really don't care about the American people. Voting Democrat really hurts. In fact, it hurts all voters. You're seeing this before your very eyes. And this is a teachable moment. I want everyone who's a government employee to really begin to absorb the moment, this painful moment, because this is a very good teachable moment. You have to understand the people you vote for are more interested in power. They don't care about your life. They don't care about human life in the womb, and they don't care about the human lives outside the womb. It's always about power. This is why you have to be an informed voter. This is exactly why you need to be an informed voter. You can't allow the comedians, the wealthy comedians, the multi-millionaire celebrities to tell you how to vote. You can't allow the multimedia that you listen to from CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, New York Times, and the rest of the people, the celebrities you hear on TV, NBC, you can't listen to them and not realize, hey, they're all wanting me to vote a certain way. And then when you vote for these people, you feel like you've been scammed. Now feel the pain. Feel the pain of not getting a paycheck because these Democrats, Nancy Pelosi Democrats, they believe that not protecting the borders is more important. Does that even make sense to you? What if a president decide, hey, we have information that these terrorists are going to come to this country, but we're not going to do nothing about it. We're just going to let it happen. We're not going to allow the FBI and the CIA to communicate with each other. We're going to create a barrier of communication. That's how 9/11 happened. Under Bill Clinton's administration, he created a barrier between the two agencies. If they had only communicated, a 9/11 would never have existed. So right now you've got Democrats who have all this evidence. You have dead bodies, real Americans who are dead. They're not coming back. And you see these women who are being raped. People are coming across the borders. They call them coyotes, these people who are smuggling children, rapists, pedophiles. And the Democrats think protecting them is more important than protecting human lives. Does that make sense to you? But that's your Democrat Party. They believe in protecting the pedophiles in Hollywood, protecting the pedophiles in government, protecting the pedophiles coming across the border, and all the drugs that come across the border. And they think that's just fine because your life is not that important. But you voted for them. That's the cost of voting Democrat. So you need to learn. This has to be a teachable moment. You have to learn from your mistake, America. You have to learn. Because if you don't learn from this, then when they become president, they can literally mull over a whole bunch of lives, and you won't. What will you say then when they have all power, where there's no accountability, when your media doesn't even keep the Democrat Party accountable for anything they say? Nothing. They rather just make up stuff as they go to create, to be just the armpit, the stinky armpit or orifice of the Democrat Party. You might as well call them the daily anus, because that's what the news media under the Democrat control is. It's a big daily anus. And that's what you're going to get. Big plops of nitrogenous waste products coming out from your TV tube. And it stinks. And you don't get the news because they're not interested in truth. They very rarely correct themselves. And unless that's important to you, then you're going to be living in an idiocracy and a society that does not care about anything at all. No, you don't. It won't care about human life because you weren't caring about the truth that came across your TV screen. Voting Democrat costs, and it hurts. It hurts all voters. Now it doesn't hurt Republicans. Don't worry about us, Republicans and conservatives. It's hurting Democrats. Look at all the Democrat employees who are scammed into voting Democrat. They said that, oh, they're going to take care of us. They're going to, oh, you look at young people who in Wisconsin and different places who are scammed into voting Democrat. You want government jobs. Well, they would rather sacrifice your life if it means getting more power and consolidating that power in a centralized government. This is your teachable moment. But will you learn? Will you wake up? Or does it take a few paychecks before you start feeling, ouch, oh, I need to get paid? Yeah, you do need to get paid. But don't you think your country needs to be protected? Look at how everyone else feels now. You're not in your ivory tower of protection and government anymore, where you think you're isolated, you're better than everyone else. No, just because you're a government employee doesn't mean you're better than anyone else who has to struggle and work and try to earn a living. The taxpayer pays your paycheck. I should know. I'm a government employee. The taxpayer pays my paycheck. In some cases, but I also have other gigs too. So I'm not just limited to a government job, but we have to experience pain sometimes because we need to learn who we vote for. You hear me? We have to learn not to vote for people who don't care about human life. All right? And yes, it is time for the American people and the government employees to unite together to say, hey, we need to really consider who we're voting for, because these people are more interested. These Democrats are so much more interested in power and control, and they're not interested in a human life. The American people, the people who have died coming across here. Isn't that a shame? You have people in Mexico. The evidence is right before your very eyes. Mexico, people from Honduras and other Ecuador coming through the Mexican border. And what are the people in Mexico saying? Why are you coming through our country? And they want to eat food and stay. Some people want to stay there, but the people can't afford that. Their nation can't afford it. But if they came legally to Mexico, then maybe they could become more basically be more connected and be able to handle the realities of living in another country. And so basically, now the same arguments are being said here. And yet, where's the media? Is it Mexico being cruel and mean to these people? No, they're just being sensible. The people are saying, hey, this is Mexico. You got to come here legally. What are the people in America saying? You got to come to America legally. It makes sense because we need to know who you are. But where's the lame, brain dead stream media and with how they're positioning and twisting, contorting the news to you? Don't you see how they're just contorting it and say, oh, these people are just being mean and bad? No, these people are being sensible in Mexico, and we're being sensible in America. There used to be a time when Democrats used to protect our borders and promote border security. It was the rich companies and corporations that wanted, and they still do want, cheap labor in this country. Meanwhile, many Latinos and Blacks who want good jobs and stuff and decent jobs, the people who are the low-skilled workers are just coming in and take those jobs. And because the wealthy of the wealthy control the Democrat Party while pretending to be the friend of the poor, They're really the people who control the Democrat Party are the richest of the rich. It's not an accident that Democrats control one of the most richest places in the country, the richest districts in the nation. And yet you say to the party that cares about the poor, when will the average American wake up? Voting Democrat really hurts. And it hurts all voters because they're all interested and only interested in power and control. So we have people who have died, police officers who have died. And what do the Democrats show that they do? They hate our police, the people who are defending us, the very people that are protecting the lives of African Americans. You literally have Democrats hating on the cops that are protecting the cities where many minorities are at. And they're creating it into some sort of voting scheme in a way to try to get people to vote for them because they care about the criminal. Yeah, we care about people who are acting criminal and everything like that, or people who are against the law. Not all cops are doing the right thing, but the function of a police officer, you can't vilify the whole entire industry or the whole entire institution of law enforcement. Because what you're going to do is you're going to create the license for more criminal activity and justify the work of criminals. Voting Democrat hurts, and it hurts all voters. You have all of these celebrities, like we said, who have gated communities. Gated communities, they protect their high ivory towers and everything. In Hollywood, they've got guards. They protect their Emmy awards and all the music awards with people with people with guns and police officers and security guards. But they don't believe that you should be able to arm yourselves. They don't believe in the Second Amendment at all. Voting Democrat hurts, and it hurts all voters. In fact, remember the time when Charlottesville riots happened? You had that lady who had passed away. I think her name was Megan, I think. But anyways, she died because someone had ran over her. All right. And so this poor young college student basically stands up against the so-called white supremacists, which was this whole riot, which was founded by a Democrat, an Occupy Wall Street Democrat who masqueraded himself into a white supremacist named Jason Kessler. I'm going to keep mentioning that over and over again so more Americans know what really happened in Charlottesville, Virginia. But here, that whole riot was produced by Democrats for Democrat control so they can label Trump as a racist. All that effort just to call Trump a racist. What a horrible mess. What a shame that they did all that work just for a political stunt, and it cost this young lady her life. Voting Democrat hurts, and it hurts all voters. In fact, the outcome of that incident was that it created a whole racist vitriol all across the nation and created all this false accusation against Trump, when reality is that it was the Democrats and a Democrat person that actually started the whole rioting and organized the whole thing along with a Black Lives Matter person. Now, as more people realize it, they're not talking much about it anymore. Voting Democrat hurts, and it hurts all voters. What the Democrats do in promoting these protests after all these riots, and of course you got the police officers who did wrong, but then you have people who are bowing down to the national anthem. And now they create this racial hostility, and everyone's distracted and everything. And basically you have Black people bowing down to the national anthem and looking like slaves. But it all reminds us the fact that the Democrat Party created slavery, promoted the Jim Crow laws, and instituted slavery in this country. Because voting Democrat hurts all voters. All right, so we have a lot going on in this country. People need to be paid, but human lives have to matter to all of us. We're all Americans, whether we be Democrat or Republican, and we all have to have some kind of commonality, common beliefs that human life matters. American lives matter, and we should not be sacrificing human lives on this altar just because the Democrats want power. I mean, goodness gracious, border security should be common sense. It's not a political issue. It is a national security issue, and it should not be that so twisted and contorted. It's not a racist issue either. It would be the Democrats to make this a racial issue because they're always concerned about race. They're not really interested in human lives. They literally want us to remind us that they are the party of racism. This whole incident, when they start talking about race, we're talking about national security. This is to remind you that the Democrat Party is the party of racism. They started racism and they continue racism in this country. That's all they think about. That's all the news media they control thinks about. It's always about racism because they are the party of racism. Congratulations, Black America. You voted for the racist party, the Democrat Party. Congratulations, media people who listen to the mainstream media of MSNBC, CNN. You're watching a racist broadcast because every time you turn on the station, they're always creating racial division, blaming people about being racist. Meanwhile, they're creating the little racist division. And we gotta just be so sick and tired of it. Says, why again did I vote Democrat? Why did I do this? So this is why. This is the pain. This is the agony. This is the cost of voting Democrat. And now, unless you talk to your Democrat congressmen and women, you all are not going to get paid. Now, I'm going to get paid. I've got other resources and things. But some of y'all who work for the federal government are not going to get paid. And this is the pain that you're experiencing for voting Democrat. Thank you, and God bless America. Let this be your teachable moment to stop voting for candidates that you didn't research on. You didn't research on, and they don't care about you as a people and